Hey! Hello,
Ah,
everyone. Uh, my name is George McHale, and this is Andrew Buck. That's Andrew Buckley. That's Andrew Buckley right there. And we're really excited to be launching our new comic book. It's called Fantasy Quest. Uh, so we will wait for a few minutes, and then we'll launch it like live on Facebook and on YouTube. So
does this get recorded?
yes, it does get recorded, so it'll be so we can watch it later. But we can also delete it if we like sound like schmucks.
In case you say something inappropriate.
Me? No, never.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to share this onto Instagram stuffs.
I guess you could put it in your link tree. I don't know.
How dare you talk about my link tree like it's just something that can be added to?
So we're gonna launch in a few minutes here. Um, thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you're watching this and it's already like live, you can just like fast forward like a couple minutes because we're just kind of getting this thing sorted out and getting rolling on it. Let's see if I can figure out how to like share my screen because I might want to do that. So I can press this one, share screen. And then I can, oh, there it is. So I can share the screen. So because we have to
Ooh.
launch it here.
How do you know how many people are watching?
It says in the corner here, and it is 0. But I don't know if that is true.
Yeah, that zero is probably lying. There's probably
Yeah,
hundreds.
this is probably thousands of people.
Why can I find you on Facebook? Oh, there you are. Hilarious.
How was your day today, Andrew?
My day was very, very busy, George. Very, very busy. I was doing grant writing for our other project. And then I've been doing some creative writing for a co-author thing.
Another co-author thing.
Yeah, the other co-author that I cheat on you with.
Yes. Do you like having co-authors?
Yeah, no, it's good. It actually makes me write, which is nice. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't write. I mean, realistically, it doesn't appear that I do as much. No, I value my co-authors greatly.
Yes, so we are on Facebook right now.
Cool.
Let me see if I can figure out how to launch this thing, and then we can tell people what Fantasy Quest is all about.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen again. And go into.
We are on Facebook? I can't find it. Why can't I not find it on Facebook?
I'm on my Facebook page. So if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see it.
I'm on your How many Facebook pages do you have? Am I on your personal Facebook page? Is that why?
All right. So I'm going to click that I'm ready to launch, and we'll see how this goes.
Like a checklist. It'll take forever to get there.
Launch project.
I'm sure this will work.
Congratulations, your project is live.
Woohoo! Is it the same link? It's the same link, right?
It's the same link. Yeah, it should work.
Oh, it does. It does work. Oh, it's so pretty.
So we can watch. So let's talk about Fantasy Quest. What is Fantasy Quest?
It's a great question, George. It's a comic book series about basically we took all those wonderful fantasy characters that are in the public domain, and we really mess them all up and put them on a wonderful journey of self-discovery and, questing for things. Is that a good description? You're better at this than I am.
Yeah, well, it features like a shared universe of fantasy characters. So Oz is at war with Wonderland. Christopher Robin has been lost in the woods forever, and he's like a grown, like survivalist man. He's got a pet bear. Bambi hates man. He's like a killer because they murdered his mom. Merlin's a drunk, and you get to meet more characters as the series continues. We've written the entire series, so it's a 4-issue miniseries. And yeah, it was really fun to just kind of reimagine those fantasy characters and kind of put our own twist on them, right? Because it's not really that fun if you just kind of retell the existing stories that are already out there. So we did our own thing with them. And our hero, I kind of want to keep our hero a bit of a secret as far as like who he is. I took it out of the description of the book.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So it's not even on the Kickstarter?
Well, it says a mysterious stranger.
So if people want to know who he is, they have to like literally buy the book and back the project.
Yeah, buy the book and find out who this guy is and why he's doing what he's doing. He's after this mysterious fire gem, but what is it? Where is it? And what does he want with it? Yeah.
Now I really want to spoil it. I won't, but I really want to.
Yeah, so that's Fantasy Quest. It's illustrated by Rags Morales and Haley Renee. I'm super excited to be working with them. Rags is, of course, known for his work on Action Comics and Hawkman and the DC Comics event series Identity Crisis. Dude's a legend. So feel really fortunate to be collaborating with him, and Haley Renee's incredible talent too. She was a student at the Kubert School, I believe, and she's done colors for Dark Horse and other major companies, and she's co-illustrating it with Rags. The two of them are just a dynamite team.
And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful artwork.
It is beautiful. Let's take a look at our page.
Okay. I love that we trusted you with the technology for this.
I'm doing a pretty good job.
You are doing a pretty good job. You better than I could. I wouldn't even know where to start with the live stream. So I'm very impressed with you.
Nice. Let's look at this. So, we can watch our video. Let's watch our video. Hey, we got $35.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Hey, I'm George McHale.
And I'm Andrew Buckley.
We're so excited to tell you about Fantasy Quest.
It's a brand new fantasy series featuring beloved literary worlds and characters that you know and love dearly. Except we really twisted them up, turned them on their heads, and even went as far as to kill a lot of them.
Oz and Wonderland are in the midst of a war when a stranger from a distant planet arrives in a world he doesn't comprehend.
Featuring murderous twins Tweedledum and Tweedledee, a bloodthirsty Bambi, a drunk Merlin, the bumbling King of Oz, the Scarecrow, and a brave Tin Man mounted atop a ravenous lion.
Illustrated in beautiful detail by award-winning artist Rags Morales and Haley Renee, Fantasy Quest will take you to places you only think you've visited before.
We have a murder's row of incredible talent for our variant covers, including Ali Garza,
MJ Hiblin,
GMB Komichuk,
Zach Schuster,
Vince L. Tabanis.
And of course, we have covers from our series artists, Rags Morales and Haley Renee, including an exclusive variant that will only be available through this campaign.
We're so excited to bring this project to life, and we hope you really dig it.
Peace.
So that's our video. And if we scroll down, you can see we have, well, you could see what happened here. Well, I don't know what's going on now. It was working.
Mine works. Mine looks
Yours
really
works?
good. What's
You
wrong
can
with
see
yours?
I can't see the page.
Yeah. Mine doesn't look like that. Just reload it. Oh, you know what? You're viewing it in the I think you're viewing it as the creator of it. You need to see the page without that.
Oh, here it is. All right. So you can see the covers. So our kind of base cover or like main cover is illustrated by Rags Morales and Haley Renee, and it's $20, and it's cool. You can see a bunch of characters on there, including Tweedledee and Tweedledum, like biting his arm. And then we've got a cover by MJ Hiblin. MJ is a series artist on Cover of Darkness, which is my comic book series that I write with Chris Cam. And he does everything with his finger. He doesn't use a pencil or stylus. So he's done this Winnie the Pooh here with Chris Robin. I think it's pretty badass. And then we've got a cover by Zach Schuster. Zach is an artist from Calgary, and he's a real cool kind of up-and-comer, super nice guy. I love this. He depicted our flying monkey character. His name is Fez. He's going in for a sandwich and fighting off some seagulls, which I think is pretty cool. And then we have GMB Kamichuk. He's an artist from Winnipeg, a writer, illustrator, all-around good dude. He's a co-host on our YouTube channel called Inside Movies, where we review like mostly 80s and 90s action movies if I get my way, but sometimes other things. And he did this like Killer Bambi for us, which I think is like pretty sick. And then the next one we have, this is a cover done solely by Haley Renee. She drew it and inked it and colored it, and it features kind of like our three primary heroes and your very first look at the Jabberwocky. And then we have a cover by Vinzel Tabanis. Vinz is my collaborator on Resilient, a series I do with Absolute Comics Group. And yeah, Vinz is amazing talent. And he did this one with some of the Oz characters. You got the Lion and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow. And then you also have Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And then our hero in the back. And then the last two, we have...
I think the Vince one is one of my favorites. I love Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They look so like creepily evil in that cover.
Yeah, absolutely. He slayed it. I love the like kind of the turquoise like smoke energy vibe coming out. I don't even know. It doesn't even make sense to me. I'm like, I don't know why that's there, but I like it and I can't explain it. And then we have
our porn covers. Yeah, the pornographic covers.
Yes. Well, you know, there's so many like topless girl covers in comics, so why don't we do a couple of topless guy covers?
Yeah.
So we've got Ali Garza, who's an artist that worked on like Teen Titans and Supergirl. He's an amazing talent, good dude. And he was my collaborator on my first comic book series called called Fire Engine Red. And so he's got our hero there, and then he's surrounded by some Munchkin girls that are kind of fawning over him. And then we have our exclusive cover. So this was done by Rags Morales and Haley Renee. This will only ever be available through this Kickstarter. So if you're a collector of like all of Rags's work, this is the place to get it. And those are our 8 covers. If we go down, you can see some interiors. We've got page 1 with their mysterious stranger landing in Munchkin Land, and him getting fitted with some pair of pants by one of the lead Munchkins there, and then they're off to see the wizard.
Cam Woodman has commented that if he takes his shirt off, it's basically the same as what I hear it looks like.
Yes. Yeah, it tracks. I've seen Dad Bod Dale.
That's true. We've seen Cam without a shirt on right now. It's basically the same thing.
Oh, here's a close-up of the Vinzel Tabanis cover. Monkey Wolf Productions is mine and Andrew's studio, and we're developing other projects through it as well, including our TV show Nerds on the Run and our movie called Night Terror. Working title of Night Terror.
His working title. That's right.
Here's the close-up of Ali Garza's cover. And GMB Kamichuk's. And then Haley Renee's. And if we reach our stretch goals, I really want to do this. So our stretch goals are to do these like cards. They're collectibles. They're like modeled after the, I think like 92 like Marvel Comics trading cards. And like I recreated the border of them, and then so we have like each of our characters, and then on the back we'll have like their like powers and abilities like they did on the real cards, and you can like see like how strong they are compared to each other, and like a little write-up on their background and stuff. And so we're going to do one of those for every $2,000 we get above our goal. So I think it'd be really cool. I'd love to get like all 9 cards done. That'd be amazing. And then I'll pick up like sleeves, so they'll have like, you'll get them all 9 cards in the, in like the 9-pack sleeve that you put in binders, and so you have like all 9 of the cards. It'd be so cool. And then this is our creative team, me and Andrew and Rags and Haley. And then we also have not mentioned here is Nikki Powers, who is our letterer. She letters all my comics, and she's pretty great. I really like working with her. She's like really easy to work with. If you're looking for a letterer, I recommend reaching out to Nikki Powers. You can find her on Instagram, 5x5 Comics. She's tagged in my most recent post. She's a great letterer and very flexible. If you change your mind on something like that, she just like does it and she puts up with me. So like I really appreciate her a lot.
Yeah, you're hard to deal with. It's true. I get it.
Yeah, so that's the campaign, and yeah, we can talk a little bit about Rags and Haley. I met Rags at Fan Expo Boston 2 years ago. We went to like a Brazilian steakhouse with Tone Rodriguez and Jeremy Clark. And yeah, got into a couple bottles of wine and kind of hit it off a bit.
Yeah, you guys don't know this. All of George's stories start this way, and all of his networking is basically this. We met him at a Comic-Con, and then we went up to dinner, and then we drank, and then years later we started working together. That's how it all goes.
Yeah. And then I met Haley through Rags, and they did a short story for me for my Cover of Darkness series. We did like a collection of 10 short stories, and Haley did colors on 4 of the short stories and really killed it. So I really liked working with her, and Rags did one of the short stories, which hasn't been released yet. So I'm looking forward to it. It's like a Minotaur story with like Hercules, and there's a Hydra and Pan, and it's really dope. It's like a 6-pager, and he did the cover. Yeah, so that's how I met them. Do you want to tell a little bit about who you are, Andrew, and like your background?
Yeah, I've never met any of these people. This is all George's. George is the architecture of this entire project here. You even brought me the concept. Well, actually, you brought me like 6 concepts, and this is the one that we chose. Yeah, I mean, I'm a novelist. I write for a living. I'm a published author traditionally, and I'm also self-published. I write paranormal fantasy primarily for middle grade young adults. So I got a pretty big, ridiculous imagination, and I lean into dark humor and satire a fair amount because I was born in England, and everyone there was like that. And it lent itself well to this particular project. It's really hard to talk about it now without mentioning the hero's name. Now I'm finding it really hard. Now I'm thinking ahead and double checking myself so that I'm not giving away who that person is. That's going to be annoying for the next 40 minutes.
Yeah. So I met Andrew. We didn't get drunk right away.
No, we did not meet like you meet every single other person in the world. We met, I think, at the book signing first, right? And then at a library event with Chris Mars. And then we just kind of stayed in touch over the years. But that was a while ago.
That was more than 5 years ago. I was just
Easy,
doing my first book. I was just starting to write it, and you know, you were a local author. You were at the Indigo there, and I was just like, ooh, like, how do I do what you're doing? And so started up a conversation. I just kind of didn't really stay in touch after that, but I followed you on social media, and then I ran into you at an event at the library where they were talking about how to make comics and stuff like that. And then, and then I had seen that you had done podcasts about like movie reviews, or used to do one on like the CW shows, right?
Yeah, Chris Morris and I used to do. Chris Morris is somebody else who who creates comic books out of Penticton, and we used to work together, and we did. It wasn't just CW shows. We kind of did everything that was kind of nerdy, for the most part. We were kind of inspired by Kevin Smith's show, and so our first iteration of that was like an hour and a half long podcast, something like that. And then when we shortened it, it actually got really popular. We just did like 20-minute episodes and reviewed like Arrow and Flash and, you know, whatever Marvel movie came out, and it was fun. It was crap we would talk about anyways. We just recorded it.
Nice. Yeah, so I had saw that you had done that. So that's when I reached out to you about doing Inside Movies, which was our movie review show that we did for 2 years. It's currently on hiatus, but it's going to come back. We've got 4 episodes in the can, and so those are going to be coming out over the next month. And so I thought of you for that, and then we started doing the movie review show together. And then after a year of doing that or whatever, then I was like, hey, do you want to do something with me? And I brought a bunch of different concepts to you over lunch at Tonics, and this is the one you like best, and we started working on it. It kind of fit into your wheelhouse of adapting, kind of putting your own spin on fantasy characters that you've already tackled in some of your other projects.
Yeah, I played with that in Stilled Skin, playing with fairy tale characters, and I talk about fairy tales a lot at schools and conferences. So it's it was a nice fit. And like all our projects begin with you being like, I've got this great idea, and then telling me about it, me going, I don't have time to do that, George. And then we do it anyways. That's how every single project has started so far.
So the concept of Fantasy Quest, this is kind of a spoiler, but whatever, let's get into it. Like, I was in Disneyland, and I love Disneyland. I've been like so many times. I've been to like almost every Disney park. The only one I haven't been to I haven't been to Shanghai or Hong Kong, but I've been to Japan and Paris and Orlando and California a bunch. I went more before I had a kid, to be honest with you, but I try and take my daughter like once a year. But we love it, and I'm just like obsessed with it and the Disney movies. And I was just in the park, and they have like the 4 theme lands. There's Adventureland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland. And so it's like, what if we could kind of like combine all these different lands in one series? And so we've got Fantasy Quest, which kicks it off, and it's a 4-issue miniseries where it's like all the characters of Fantasyland are interacting with each other, but there's like a bigger mission. And if the series goes well, we hope to expand it to other kind of genres like Western and adventure and sci-fi. So that was the genesis, was just me standing on a line at a theme park thinking like, it'd be cool to like kind of make something that just incorporated everything.
Did I know that origin story? I don't know if you have explained it to me from that point of view.
I don't think I've ever said it before.
No, I don't think I've ever said it out loud before. It's interesting. It makes sense, though. Perfect sense. 100% sense. We are just ripping up Disney parks. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And for those of you who don't know me, my name is George McHale, and I'm a comic book writer. I'm most well known for Cover of Darkness, which is kind of similar to Fantasy Quest in that I've taken like a shared universe of horror characters, and we've mixed them all together. So we've got Viking werewolves, we've got a steampunk Atlantean Frankenstein, all interacting with each other. It's an epic series where actually I just finished writing the final issue with Chris Cam. That's like issue 19, and our artist just finished issue 18, and he's getting started on issue 19 like tomorrow. So that's been a massive series. It's published by Source Point Press. That's been released out into comic book stores everywhere, and so that's my main series. I also work on Resilient, which has been published by Absolute Comics Group, and that book is, hopefully coming out soon. I see that they've solicited issue 2 after like 2 years, so that series is 100% done. All 5 issues are completed. I'm just waiting on the publisher to release them, or not. But that's that series. And yeah, so you've met me traveling around, because I like to do conventions. I done up to like 20 in a year, but so I travel all over North America, going to conventions and meeting people and telling them about my projects.
Do you have any more conventions this year?
I do, yeah. Up next, I'm in Winnipeg for the Winnipeg Comic Con at the end of this month, and then in November, I'm in San Francisco, and in December, I'm in LA at the LA Comic Con. So
cool.
3 more shows. I'm looking forward to it. I've never done the Winnipeg Comic Con, so that'll be a first for me. And I haven't done San Francisco since Fan Expo took it over. They're an incredible company, Fan Expo. Shout out to Kevin Boyd and the whole team over there. They're so great to creators, and I'm really looking forward to doing that one. It'll be my first time at their show. Let's talk about, like, who do we think will like Fantasy Quest?
Well, if you're into any of the if you're into fantasy anyways, or an action fantasy and that kind of thing, you'll probably love this. I mean, you and I are pretty heavily influenced by, like, old ass fantasy movies, and I think we brought some of that kind of sentimentality to this particular project when we wrote it. But just a crazy, awesome, diverse cast of characters, I think will lend well to pretty much anybody. People who like their fairy tales with a dark twist, or their fantasies with a dark twist, I think will really enjoy this. Anybody who has a bit of a dark sense of humor will probably really enjoy this series, particularly when it gets into the second and third issues. But it's it's just been I think it was something for everybody in this. But especially if you've grown up, loving a lot of Disney properties, if you loved, Alice in Wonderland, if you loved Wizard of Oz and all those wonderful characters, then I think you'll really enjoy where we've kind of twisted and taken it with this story.
Yeah. If you love Disney animation, this is like your jam for sure. And if you like kind of reimagining and kind of new takes of classic characters, this will be for you. It's not just for kids though. It's a little dark. We're killing off some people, and it's it's definitely suitable. I think like 10 and up, you're good.
You think that's a safe spot?
There's no cursing, there's no nudity.
No.
The violence is there.
But it's comic booky.
It is comic booky. If you love traditional like comic book art, like this team, man, they're incredible. The Rags and Haley just slay it. Yeah. So I think if you just like comic books, if you like animated movies, like this is your jam, and you're gonna dig it. And like one thing to mention too is like the book is 100% done. Like it's totally finished. If you watch the video, you can see almost like the whole thing. Like those page flips are quick, but like it's action packed, and it's done. It's ready to go. I've previously fulfilled 3 Kickstarters, and so you can trust that this one is going to be fulfilled as well.
Definitely, yeah. I previously fulfilled none, but I've also not done any Kickstarters, so this is first time. So I think I'm going to nail it first time. It'll be fine.
Who is your favorite character in Fantasy Quest?
I am very torn on that. I really like what we did with Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh. I love the Winnie the Pooh character. I think he's great. I don't know. It's hard. Which one's yours? Oh, you like the monkey?
I do like the monkey.
Yeah.
His name is Fez, and he has a fez, and he flies, and he's mute, and yeah, he's kind of awesome. He's a bit of a coward, but
He's
I
very
like him.
expressive.
I
Very
like him.
expressive. That's because he can't talk.
kind of silly. He smokes,
He smokes.
which was not written in the script. That was I think all Rags like, let's make him smoke. I was like, okay,
Yes, he's a smoking flying monkey. Mhm.
yeah, I like it. And he wears a little vest like Aladdin. I don't know.
I really like Tweedledum and Tweedledee. I mean, they're in the first issue of this series, and they're obviously a little bit of a dark take on those particular characters, but I really like them. They're super fun.
Let's take a look at some of the interior pages here. So I'm gonna go share screen. And over here, go to share, and then you can see my Dropbox stuff. I'm not going to show the whole book, but well, it's page 20.
Yeah, don't show the whole book. Is that what you're doing? Don't show the.
I'm not showing the whole book.
Don't show the whole book.
And here's page 1. Oh, it's lettered too. This guy's name is Bach. He's like kind of the leader of the Munchkins.
The Munchkin leader.
What the hell's going
Oh,
on
that
here?
one looks weird.
Why is it all blue?
I don't know. It's not supposed to look like that. That's not normal.
Oh, they're all blue. What the hell? I don't know what I'm doing here, guys.
Technical difficulties. Please hold.
All right. Well, maybe we won't show too much.
Yeah, you can't. No, that's got a that one had a spoiler in it. You can't show that one either.
I wanted to show this page. All right, let's show this page.
There you go.
Yeah. So here you got Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh in the background, and we've got Bambi. He's looking like he's in trouble here. Oh,
Whoa.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Extreme close up. There you go. There's our Christopher Robin. There's a Winnie the Pooh in the background. I loved Winnie the Pooh. He's just a big dumb bear. And our Bambi looks fearsome.
All right.
What else you got on your list?
Do you want to talk about our writing process?
Yeah, I would love to talk about our writing process. Well, this is my first time writing a comic book, so you had to teach me a few things on this one. I've written screenplays, I've written TV and movies, and I've written novels, but never comic books. So this process was very different for me. Mainly because I'm too wordy, apparently.
Yeah, that's one thing, is that like there is limited space in comic books, so you have to choose your words, carefully, and make sure that everything counts. It's a lot different than writing a screenplay or a novel.
So, well, it's closer to writing a screenplay because we're just talking the visuals and we're talking obviously the different frames as the perspective shots and everything. That is similar, but the amount of dialogue that you're allowed to use because of the limited space you have is really tricky. I mean, it took me a while to be able to write down enough to be able to still tell the story with the combination of the two, but less words. That was hard.
But it's fun. I love just getting new art in my emails in the morning. That's the coolest thing. That's probably like that's one of the best parts of being a writer. It's just like seeing your creation kind of come to life, just like one page at a time. Just
Mhm.
yeah.
And we had a pretty smooth writing process for both of this, right? I mean, we planned it out pretty meticulously before we started all four
we did a
issues.
lot of outlining. Yeah, it was really sort out, and we all knew like what each person is doing, and then we edited each other's work. So
Yeah.
it worked pretty smoothly. I really enjoyed it. I've worked with co-writers before, so
And good experiences, bad experiences.
yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I like
All
it.
good?
Too. Yeah,
Who's your favorite co-writer out of everybody you've worked with so far?
I'm not going to answer that.
Because you don't want the others to feel bad. I get it. That's cool.
But no, I do like working with a partner. It kind of keeps you like accountable, and I just like having someone being like, "Hey, where's those pages?" or what's going on with this. So it keeps you moving on it, because I don't know, like the writing process itself can be like really uncomfortable sometimes, because you're just like, there's like this like inner turmoil of like, is this good? Should I say this? And you have like just getting through that first draft can be just so tough sometimes, where you just, you're really struggling through it. And, that's why I drink. I drink, and I have someone that that I have to be accountable for, and it helps me just kind of get through it. And it makes the whole process better and more enjoyable and just reaffirming, and, yeah.
It's the accountability piece, right? I mean, just writing solo, I can go away from a project for like, a month, 3 months. But when you're actually writing with somebody, then you feel a certain amount of that you have to get it done. You feel bad if you don't. So it does motivate. It's a good added motivation in the face of procrastination to actually sit down and write. So I did enjoy writing on this project because it was it was fun subject matter in the first place. But yeah, it was a smooth process. Once we had it all planned out, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I do find like being accountable to my artist keeps me motivated. And so it's like if the series is already like started and it's like the artist is waiting for pages, that like gets me like, I got to get this thing ready for them. But I really didn't want to do that this time because I really wanted the script to be 100% done and solid and like thought out and organized. So just so the script would be better. But so I didn't have that kind of pushing me. But now that it's like done being written, all 4 issues, it's like I'm ready for it. I'm like I want it to be done. I want it to be a graphic novel, and I just want it to be like put in people's hands. We have the first issue is 100% done. Rags and Haley are working on issue 2 right now. Let's talk about one of the rewards that we're offering is a writing consultation. So there's 10 spots for that. It's a good value in that like the writing consultation thing is, normally like, $250, $300 value just to like have someone sit down with you and like review your script and talk to you about it. And so for $300, you're getting all 8 covers of Fantasy Quest and a consultation with both Andrew and I. And we're going to read your scripts and we'll be ready so that when we have our Zoom call with you, we'll have some notes for you. So if you're looking to do this, if you're looking to make comic books and you're working on your first scripts, or maybe you're just at the concept phase and you want, someone to kind of help form your concept into a single issue, into a graphic novel, we can work with you on that too. So the consultation with you gets you like a 1-hour meeting with us, a Zoom call, and we will be prepared. So you're not going to be explaining yourself during that meeting. You'll send us your materials beforehand. We'll be ready with it, with some ideas, and then we'll rock it out. And, and everything that we present to you in the consultation is yours and you can use it. Like we don't have any ownership or like this is your concept. and we're helping you develop it. And we don't need any credit or anything like that. We're just here to help you kind of make your thing. So if you're looking to make comic books, I think this is really cool. I've seen other people offer this as a reward. I've never done this before as a reward on a Kickstarter. I have helped people with their projects before, and Andrew does it quite a lot.
Mhm.
So this is something like, if you're looking to make comics, this is, I think, a really good opportunity for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where you're at with the writing either. Like, we're happy to help no matter kind of what space you're currently in with it. Maybe you're just struggling to get over a roadblock, or maybe you're just looking how to develop or even plan it better than what you currently have. Like, we can kind of help no matter kind of what phase that you're at. And yeah, I mean, like George says, I mean, we have no onus over this. Like, it's still all yours, unless you get super famous and it does really well, in which case we will want 10%. But that's the only caveat to it. Otherwise, it's all about you.
And you're teaching some courses locally at the Not That Guy studio downtown Kelowna.
Yeah, Ken Woodman's new film studio downtown on Lawrence, behind Burke's Hair Lounge there. He's got a bunch of cool workshops coming up. But yeah, you and I are both teaching there this month. Is yours this month too?
Mine's in November.
Yours is November. Okay, so mine's October 26th. I'm teaching a horror writing workshop there. $75, 3 hours, or however long it takes. But there'll be a kind of a lecture-based presentation discussion around horror, including clips from popular horror movies that we're going to kind of take a look at and break down. We're going to plan out and map out our own horror story as a group, and then we'll kind of split up, and there'll be a chance to do individual consultations on writing, and encourage everyone to kind of hang around and enjoy the space and chat it all up. But yeah, it'll be fun. So if you're interested in horror, you like horror writing, it's Halloween, it's the perfect time for it. There'll also be candy. We'll definitely make sure there's candy there. And yeah, it'll be fun. What's the one that you're doing?
I'm doing how to write comic books and publish your own comics. It's a 3-week course in November. I'm excited for it. It'll be at the Not That Guy studio as well. And check out my Facebook or Instagram, and go to Cam Woodman's social media to book it. It's basically going to be me like sharing all my secrets. I got into comics like a little bit later in life. I was 35, and just like, you know what, like, am I going to be afraid my whole life, or am I actually going to try and like make this like thing happen? And it's kind of interesting. Like, we at one point it seemed like we had like a similar path, and you went for it, and you went to Vancouver Film School, and you started being a creative person very early on. I toured the campus, I think, like the same year you were there.
Well, that's right. I think we talked about that. Yeah,
I was thinking about doing it, and I was just really nervous, and I was really afraid. And then after like a big car accident, I was just like, you know what, life is short. I'm going to try and do this thing and make it happen. And I had to figure it out. And it was a grind. Like, just learning this is like, making comic books is not an easy business at all.
No, at all. I agree 100%. This is a very eye-opening experience.
Yeah, and it's like super competitive, and yeah, I've learned a lot, and so I have a lot to share. So if you want to learn about that, you can back our Kickstarter at the writing consultation, or if you're just like brand new and just getting started, like, come and take the course, and it'll be 3 weeks. I'm really hoping to like have people find value in taking the course and like really benefit from it. Like, this isn't like a money thing for me. Like, really, like, the idea of teaching the course is like, I just want to kind of help people, and so I really want to see that people benefit from it. Yeah. And so it's 3 weeks, and I want to like not only share all my secrets, but try and help you like kind of get started. And one thing that's really cool is I met a writer at one of the first Comic Cons I went to when I was starting to write. His name's Connor McCreary. He's a writer out of Toronto. He does Kill Shakespeare for IDW and all that stuff. And I went to his writing class at the convention, and now it's like I'm on the same side of the table as he is, and we're both creative professionals together. But I was at his course, and it's kind of neat to see that, and I'd love to see that someone that I share what I know, become a professional as well. Yeah.
It'd be step 1, go to a Comic-Con. Step 2, meet people. Step 3, go for dinner with them. Step 3, get them drunk. George's secrets to comic book publishing.
It is actually, comics is a lot about relationships too. That is
networking.
100%. Like, especially like getting your books published and stuff like that is like, getting to know the people who run the companies and, and then because it's just so hard to get someone to read your book. It's so hard to get someone to read your book. But if you can make that relationship and they'll actually read it, that's like, and then it's like, oh, hey, this is good. Yeah, all right. Like, we'll put it out. Like, that was the hardest thing. Was just getting someone to read it. But yeah, now that I got my foot in the door, now we're starting to kind of collaborate with some people that have some clout in the industry too. I'm really excited to be working with Rags on this book. Fantasy Quest is a really, really cool project, and I'm really excited to get it out there into the world. Let's see where we're at right now. I haven't checked in a while. So
It's doing good.
10%. Share screen.
I didn't realize it updated as fast as it does. It's pretty cool.
Hey, we're at $255.
Not
Nice.
bad. Thank you, peoples.
Yeah.
Where can people? Where do people go to learn more about this? I guess where can people find you is probably the best way to say.
You can find me on Instagram at Comic Book George, on Facebook just under my name, George McHale, on YouTube at Inside Comics, and the movie review channel. You have to type in at Inside Movies 1. I don't know. It's kind of tricky to find.
Because some other bastard took Inside Movies.
Yes. But if you type in at Inside Movies 1, then you'll see our movie reviews channel, which has been a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to getting that going again. I think our next episode is going to be like Barbarian, and we got like some Keanu Reeves stuff. And yeah, there's some cool movie reviews coming up on that channel.
Yeah.
And what about you, Andrew? Where should people go to look for you?
You can go to my website at andrewbuckleyauthor.com or Andrew Buckley Author on Instagram. You can check out some of my teaching stuff at wordsmithacademy.com. You can go to Cam Woodman's profile to find our workshops. Or when you go to look up Storycentric on Spotify and Apple, Google, Podbean, wherever podcasts are, to find my podcast too. So you can find me in all those different areas.
Yes, and I want to be on Storycentric. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll be on next week's. Like we'll do a bit of a teaser for Fantasy Quest and the Kickstarter on there at the beginning of the episode, next week's episode.
Cool. Yes, and I'll have to have you on Inside Comics again. You've been a guest before.
Yep.
But I'll have you again, and we can talk about Fantasy Quest some more.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think that's good. I don't think we need to keep this launch party going.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just keep partying by myself.
Ah, that sounds so sad. But all right, sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me, Andrew. This is fun.
Thank you.
And yeah, if you haven't done it already, back our campaign.
Yes, please give us your money. We appreciate your money. It'd be great. And you'll get a comic book. It's a great comic book, so do it.
All right. Until next time. Peace. Bye, dude.
Mm-hmm.